Hi everyone, I'm Jess Fama and welcome to a new episode of Almost Fama. Make my day and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of my latest episodes. I'm excited to share with you today an interview from the Hall of Heavy Metal History induction ceremony because I got the exclusive interviews with the inductees of the night. This was the third year for this amazing nonprofit organization to hold its ceremony. The Hall of Heavy Metal History is dedicated to enshrining iconic musicians and music industry executives who are responsible for making rock and metal music what it is today. In addition, it is also part of the DAD program, Drums and Disabilities, to help children fight disabilities on a global basis, and also joins with the Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund. To be nominated to the Hall of Heavy Metal History, nominees must have at least 20 million retail units or downloads sold worldwide. They will have had legendary status for a minimum of 20 years and have made contributions to a band, bands, the music industry, or societal involvement. So there you have it, and here's one of the few interviews I got on this amazing night.
Man needs any introduction. It's Mr. David Ellefson of Megadeth. Hello.
Oh, yeah, how you doing?
I'm amazing. So good to have you back. And hold that up.
Pick up
Congratulations.
one of these little things, yeah. I didn't have it when I walked in, and now I do. So it's good.
As long as it's in your hand and it's going on your shelf tonight,
It's got my
right?
name on it. What do you know?
It does have
Who
your
knew?
name
Yeah,
on it.
right.
That's how fancy we are.
I know. I love it. I love it. Thank
it has
you.
your
Thank
name
you.
and
Thank you.
everything.
Thank you.
And this can be a bass or a guitar.
Yeah, we'll just cut a couple strings off.
Yeah.
Actually, one. If we make it 5-string, it'll be good.
There you
Then,
go.
right, it'll be just like my bass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love it. Before I get into like all of this other stuff, I have to talk about Basstory.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's so amazing what you're doing. If you could
you.
maybe just give us a little breakdown of what
Sure.
you would exclaim it to be.
Well, you know, the 35 years of Megadeth was, well, technically I guess we're still in it, but it was mostly last year was our celebration, and fans started finding these pictures, and they were posting them, and these really cool, like, vintage moments, and they all had a different bass in them, and I went, you know when you see like an old family photo, you kind of think of the
nostalgic.
story that's around it, yeah. And to me, the bass was kind of the centerpiece of the story, and I went, wow, that BC Rich Mockingbird, this old Jackson, this whatever, and I started talking about the bass, and that led to Basstory. That every bass has a story.
Right.
And so my partner Tom, he goes, you know, why don't we should go out and take this on the road, like go out and kind of take a clinic idea, but let's take it into the clubs. We'll put some opening bands, maybe some of our
Right.
label bands around it from EMP.
From EMP,
Yeah,
another thing you're venturing
Exactly.
into. We'll get there in a second.
So rather than just doing it in like a music store, taking it into the club, so it can be like this tonight, like a big night out for
Right.
everybody, you know. So I would tell stories, and what was interesting is a lot of the stories I tell. I look at the audience, they go, "Oh my God, some of these people weren't even born when this shit was going down," right? So I don't know if I'm old or if they're just really young.
They're really young.
Yeah, right.
They're really young.
But it's awesome because there's all these young people who are really into our legacy and into the early days of the heavy metal
I'm
stuff.
sorry, hold on.
So cool.
Do you not know who you are? I think sometimes people forget who they really are and the impact.
Yeah, well, we stand in
you
these
have.
shoes, you know. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, don't forget, like,
Okay.
because I do know from talking to you how humble and amazing that you are as a person,
Thank
but you
the
are
Minnesota
someone,
farm boy thing, I guess, right?
It's true, but you are an inspiration to so many
Well,
people.
thank you. I appreciate
to
that.
so
Thank
many
you.
people.
Thank you.
I meet. They all love
guess
you.
so,
I know they do.
right? Yeah,
See?
right, yeah.
The people have spoken.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have so many other things. So we just touched upon EMP really quick, your record label. You
Yeah.
have a bunch of new bands on there, and you
Yeah.
have a few people tonight who are on your record label.
And a big part of that when we started it was to just help continue to spread the love of the community. You know, we've
Yeah.
got legacy artists, Autograph, Mark Slaughter, Doyle, and then a bunch of young new bands. You know, the first band that we put the record out for was Dollskin, you know, but young
Right.
girls who I thought were deserving of a shot to get into this, and they've gone out and they've done the work, they're proven themselves. And, you know, I had a manager years ago that told me, he said, I'm not willing to work any harder than my band is. Which, you know, just I think everybody who's here tonight
Yeah.
and anybody who's on a stage, you've got to be willing to put the time in. You know,
gotta work.
Yeah, there's no publishers clearinghouse check that just shows up one day.
I'm really still waiting for that, though. That would be great.
Yeah,
right?
you and me both, right?
The big check, though. It has to be, I want that big
big
one.
check,
Do
yeah.
you think you can walk into a bank with one of those?
We'll see when it shows up, right? Yeah.
That would be awesome. And your coffee company, Ellison's
Yeah.
Coffee Company, how's that going?
I know. Well, it's funny. Like,
are you going to have coffee at NAMM this year?
We're not, only because I'm only here for a couple of days.
Okay,
we're doing the Metal Legion show tomorrow night, and then Frank Bello and I are heading off to Shiprock Cruise on Friday with our new band Altitudes and Attitude
Yes.
and the record that we have out. So I'm only here for a couple of days, so I just didn't really have the attention to give it,
Understandable,
I got a
yeah.
good crew that runs everything, but, if we're going to do it, it should be a big look. So
Right.
maybe next year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know you have to get to rehearsal, but
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate you taking time to
Cool.
come and
You're
stop and
welcome.
talk to me.
Thank you.
Everybody, Dave Ellefson on Almost Fama.
Thank you again to the Hall of Heavy Metal History for having me there. To learn more about this amazing organization, voting, and the event, log on to thehallofheavymetalhistory.org. And a personal shout out to Pat Gesualdo and Whitney Allison Ribbons for the major hard work you put into making this night happen. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm Jess Fama. Be awesome and do good.
Please hang up and try again.